incorporate more carbohydrates the day before a heavier workout. So like if I'm doing legs,
I want to ask you, what's the most important things? Mindset, exercise, or nutrition?
before you waste your money on an exercise program, think about this. Before you waste money on products that you don't know anything about, read this. You know, I actually increased my protein uptake over the past 2 weeks from 8 ounces to 10. Just because you can eat 5,000 calories faster than you can bench press 500 pounds doesn't mean you freaking need to do it.
All right, so we are heading down to some incredible Texas, but we have a special guest that we're going to take a couple minutes to talk to today. So that's who we're going to be talking. Oh. What's up, pretty boy?
What up?
You are Captain.
How are you?
I am good. So I got a couple questions for you. We are in Texas this weekend, you and I.
Yes, sir. We will be there live.
With your diet right now, where are you with your diet?
So, right now, I am dieting. So I would say, when you say where I'm at a stage where it's the happy stage where I can actually implement more high carb up days if I choose to, pertaining to how I want to look for whether it be a photo shoot, you know, ads, whatever I want to do. So it's a good space to be in.
Nice.
Generally, like I would be doing 3 to 5 days of cardio and whatnot. So I'm in the space where I want to, like, you know, get this down, right? I want to get those cheekbones going. So flexible dieting has been great. Obviously, shout out to Icon because they've enabled me to have like good planned out cheats and keep us some good variety. But you know, I actually increased my protein uptake over the past 2 weeks from 8 ounces to 10
per meal.
Per meal, yes, and still keeping the carbs around the same. What I have done is incorporate more carbohydrates the day before a heavier workout. So like if I'm doing legs, you know, you want to carb up a little bit harder than I would like on an arm day or something, because people don't realize that they're trying to get these gains, yet they're not incorporating the right type of foods the day prior. Because as you know, it takes hours on hours for the body to do what? Stimulate or create glycogen. So that's
I love you said that. And I'm going to go into depth on stage with that because of the concept that today's age or today's social media trainers go, no, on leg day, do this. I do it like you. I do it the day before. So leg day, I'm ready. After leg day, I'm good. I'm good with the basic diet. But
we're going to have a good time with that because, you know, at the end of the day, name someone who has accomplished more than the two of us combined. No one. Combined, no. So it would probably be good to just hear us out. But most importantly, for those trainers, they should answer this. Do you carb up your athletes for a show? The answer is, of course, hell yeah. But you do it, and Mike's laughing right now because he knows you do this not necessarily the day of, but the days before.
Oh, wait a minute. Not just an hour before?
No, because we know what? We know that the body takes time to create glycogen. So it's no different than, look, like when we played sports in high school, you know, I ran track.
What'd they tell you? What'd they tell you days before?
Carb up the night before, the day before, a swim meet or a track meet. You know, you're eating the pasta nights and all that.
I love you said pasta. That's what I grew up with.
So what the fuck are they talking about? Excuse my language, guys, but what the fuck are they talking about? Like, they've got to really understand the method to their madness. I mean, look, unless if you're taking something, some like I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I guess at the end of the day, always remember this, and we'll say this on Saturday too, regardless of your method, the proof is in your performance, period. The proof is always in your performance and not just one time. See, the reason why I also put this in the background is so that you understand it took more than just doing it right one time. You have to do it all the time. And
You know, something else I love about what we're going to be able to talk about is that I don't comprehend when I get called a bodybuilder or something, because it doesn't make sense to me, because I did that for such a short period of my life compared to athletics, from gladiators, from football as a teenager to gladiators in my 20s, gladiators in my 30s, gladiators in my 40s. I did 10 times more athletic things than I've ever done powerlifting and bodybuilding. So when it comes back to athletics, and that's where you came from athletics. And so when we're talking about nutrition, we're talking about training, we're talking to someone that's been in the grind of it, that's not just done it, but done it in a high level over and over again. So I don't care if you're a runner, a swimmer, a gymnastics person, or somebody like that. We're going to talk to you guys and teach you about nutrition for all athletes, not just bodybuilding. So I love that you've been in the trenches of all this.
Essentially, we've both been blessed to have the careers that we currently have, the platforms that we currently have also, and then being able to now utilize technology and do these type of virtual meetings where other people get to sit in, ask questions, and observe. The most important thing I find right now is when you're dealing with ego, and we talked about this last time, all have it. I have a humongous ego. The difference is I know when to check it. And we also have to keep in mind when it comes to eating, we have to keep that in check. So I come to realize that as I diet now, but I think what we have to realize is once we start getting into the trenches of training, we also have to keep in mind that just because you can eat 5,000 calories faster than you can bench press 500 pounds doesn't mean you freaking need to do it. You still need to gradually increase. And everyone and their mother that wants to compete will go ahead and throw it in the comment box, guys. You would easily mimic the first week a diet of eating a ton of food faster than you would someone's training regimen with the actual poundages, because you realize that I can't do that because I just started. Well, you need to make sure that you have that same attitude toward eating and understanding how food works for each person, because we all are so very different. And one of the things I realized, Mike, is even in the United States, when you're traveling, you can't always get the same food from the same store. So for instance, I was in LA at the Cal Pro supporting my brother from another, Patrick Moore, right? I wanted to go get him Orange Roughy. It was impossible to get it, right? Whereas here in Denver, you get it by the truckload. So like in Vegas for the Olympia, I would literally have to go to like a Korean, no joke, like I would go to the Korean grocery stores because that's where they had it the most. So my point is like red potato, white potato, sweet potato, actual yellow sweet potato, like different types of stuff may not be in other countries. You and I both have traveled where we're like, okay, how am I going to, this works really well for me, like, but try to get sweet potato in some of these countries.
Yeah.
So that's why we realize, both of us, that there is more than one way to do it. And you also, and look, I'm guilty of this in a good way, having a free mind, pure, it's great. And you know this being in martial arts, you know, like empty your cup. And that's what this is about. And I'm really excited to, chop it up with you this Saturday in Dallas in front of everyone attending, because I really hope that, we're able to give them some added jewels to their own gauntlet like you had. They got the gauntlet, but they
got it.
The jewels.
So this Saturday, Phil and I will be on stage, main stage at noon. Some of the things I would love to discuss, and then we kind of touched on it here, but just the understanding of, if you're going to raise your weights, raise your calories, but raise them in a smart way for you. And we'll go into depth about that. You don't get to just, hey, I'm 250, so I'm going to go 5,000 calories. It doesn't work that way. And we're going to try to explain to you what we've learned through the years and decades of not just our knowledge, which I don't think people grasp. When we talk about knowledge, we go back to that Bruce Lee mentality of everything we've learned from the most pinnacle individuals we've been around. And so the knowledge we have is stuff Arnold told me, stuff Robbie Robinson has told me, stuff that Tom Plaz and I did on leg day. And the same thing for you and your coaches that you've gone through from high school to college and so on. And you've been around the most pinnacle individuals there is in the world. I mean, think about the last 10 years of the individuals you've been able to have conversations with, and you got to learn little things, not even about nutrition, about training, but about, I'm going to add this to my mindset on how to process this. And that's what I want to really dive into too, because I want to ask you, what's the most important things? Mindset, exercise, or nutrition? Don't answer that now. Save that for Saturday for everybody here that comes out. And then again, right now, I know that I have over at Icon the Titan Breakfast Burrito, which I would love you to enjoy on Saturday with me.
Yeah, no, we would. I had it a couple of days ago, and I almost had it this morning. And I was gonna tease you and put it up online. I'll have to do that another time. But yeah, we'll for sure have that.
Do it, because I got a call from Todd saying I'm about to get my ass kicked by you coming up with a new creation. He didn't give me any other details, but he says you're coming up with your own meal.
You never know, man. I'm always working, right? I'm always trying to figure out a different way. And to piggyback on what you're talking about, I mean, guys, like Mike and I are here to help. And we're here to help because of the fact that we have gone through it. And we have had some great mentors, great muses over the years. But take advantage of that, okay? Because you just never know, like what you may be missing out on. And I can tell you this, if Mike and I both had this type of technology 20 years ago, we would both have probably a 10x on what we currently have. And what I mean by that is actually seeking knowledge and taking it for what it's worth. But I will say what my mission is, and I don't want to speak for you, Mike, but I'm, but I feel like we're in the stage of life where gratitude comes from giving back to others. And it's imperative that we do so. And just because it's fun, how cool is it to know that we've acquired such knowledge through the work? And we don't want you to bump your head up against the freaking wall. And that's what we're talking about, like, talking to Arnold, talking to Robbie Robinson, talking about with these greats. They are passing down knowledge, and it's up to us to do the same thing. We're not sitting on some ivory tower or anything. We're just letting you know that, hey, man, before you go fuck that up, try this. Before you waste your money on an exercise program, think about this. Before you waste money on products that you don't know anything about, read this. Just give it some thought, and it may change your life. Now, when it comes to mindset, we're going to go through that. And I really hope that the studio audience, and when I say studio, the arena that we will be in is packed. And I expect it to be, because we're going to go all out. And what I mean by that is bringing the intensity, bringing the vulnerability, and just bringing forth the champion perspective of how we both attain our own personal level of greatness and how we're just getting started.